You're tuned in to Just One Hot Mom with host Nanika Ansari. Get ready. She's about to bring you that fire, that flavor, that heat, all that passion and more from around the world and in your neighborhood. Stay tuned.
Hey, hotties, it's your girl Nanika Ansari, and you are tuned into Just One Hot Mom. It is finally raining in April, so May is next week. Let's hope we see some flowers, some sunshine, because your girl could use some vitamin D for sure. So I am here in the studio because, you know, I'm all about educating us, making sure that we get our health all the way together, whether it's mind, body, spirit, emotional, physical, whatever it is. I want us to live our best lives now. And what better way to help you live your best life than to invite people in so that we can get the information we need. So here today I have with me Tanya Higgins of Fighting Soldierz. Hey, Tanya.
Hey, honey.
Hey. She got on her Fighting Soldierz shirt. So the reason I wanted to bring Tanya on today is that some of you know, if you read my blog, that my mom is a 2-time cancer survivor. We found out that she had kidney cancer a couple years ago, and then 2 years after that she was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and so she is in remission right now, praise Jesus. But I always think it's important that we find out, like, I'm all about like trying to do stuff naturally, and so I suffer from migraines, and so I get these headaches, and I was like, I don't want to take pills anymore. And so we're always trying to find out natural ways to get our bodies to fight off these diseases, and so we did that for my mom. I do it for myself, and I know that Tanya is doing it for herself. So Tanya, you were initially diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer.
Yes.
Okay, so when you got your initial diagnosis, what was your thought process?
What I gotta do? You know, I didn't really have time to cry. I just was like,
because stage 4 is like, boom.
That's it. Here. That's metastatic. That's terminal. It can always come back, and when it comes back, it can go in your liver, your brain. It can go wherever, but it's still going to be considered breast cancer.
Okay.
Because the initial sighting was the breast.
Okay, so you get this diagnosis of breast cancer, and then what are the doctors telling you? Like, okay, we're going to fight this, or this is, you know, there's nothing we can do. What was their initial talk with you?
Their initial talk was, you know, you have a 5-year lifespan. You know, we had to remove one of your breasts. I should have just let them remove both. I don't know why they didn't. You're going to have aggressive chemo. You know, and you got to get your ovaries removed, all these things. So it 2012 was a lot. And then my youngest daughter, she was graduating from high school, and I had always had plans. When she graduates, I'm going to move to Georgia.
I'm out. We always wait for the kids to leave. Like, as soon as the kids leave, you're like,
go to better weather. You know, I like the hot weather.
Don't we all?
I love the hot weather.
I'm missing
so this right here, this is just Debbie Downer for me. This Mother Nature, I don't know what she doing.
She going
right
through
now.
something right now. We trying to figure it out. We trying to figure it out. So you get this diagnosis. They're like a 5-year lifespan. What made you decide to fight? Because I think, like, some people initially get relaxed in the diagnosis and they do whatever the doctors tell them to do. But you took another route. You was like putting up your fists ready to go. What made you?
Well, I took their route.
Okay.
Initially, I wanted to fight because I got so much stuff to do.
And it's going to be on 5 years.
Yeah, I got things to do. And I want to one day see my unborn grandkids. That was my purpose, like my reasoning. And that right there.
You had a future.
Yeah, I was like, I want to see where my seeds go.
And see, I think that's what people miss out. Like, sometimes you just think, like, as soon as people say hospice, I think people give up. Like, that's just like, okay, it's hospice, it's over with for you. Like, we're just going to settle on that. And I remember when my mom was diagnosed with kidney cancer, me and my sister was like, all right, what we about to do? So we about to throw up a party. We're going to throw her a cancer party. Okay. And so we got together with all her friends. We had them write her letters of encouragement. And we was like telling cancer every day, we about to fight you. And we going to fight you so bad, we about to throw a fight party. And so get ready. Nice. Yes. So, you know, it was like, boo. And then, like, when she came out, and the doctor was like, we had to remove her kidney. It was a little bit more aggressive than they thought.
Okay.
We were like, okay, but she was good.
Okay.
And then she started having some other complications, and that's when we discovered the thyroid cancer. But I'm glad that you brought that up because it's still attached to the kidney cancer. So it would have always been kidney cancer. And they moved to her thyroid.
She was stage 4?
No, so that only works for stage 4. See, I'm getting some education today so I can understand.
As far as I know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, on the stage 4, yeah.
So you decide to fight. So you just create this space for fighting soldiers. What is a fighting soldier?
A fighting soldier is anyone who doesn't, they're going through that fight. Mm-hmm. It could be cancer, lupus, sarcoidosis. Fighting soldiers apparel is health and social awareness apparel. Mm-hmm. It can be a victim of gun violence. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
You guys should check out our page because before I was like, it's not just cancer, it's everything. Like, we fighting against everything. Anything that could come up against us, we taking a stance and fighting against it.
And it's hard, especially, a survivor of these things, or if they didn't survive it, their family members, their loved ones had to deal with it. Mm-hmm. It's mental. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make awareness of all these things that's going on.
Okay, but why choose the words fighting? Because, some people will be like, oh, that's violent. But I was like, I feel like cancer is violent. Like,
you got to fight. you got to fight.
So what were your...
It's like that bully on you. You got to fight that bully off of you.
What was the initial stance you took in the fight? Like, what were the first things you decided, like, what am I attack first so that I could start to fight this disease?
I don't understand.
Like,
say it again.
Did you change, like, what did you first start to fight first? Like, was it your diet, the way you were living you started to change? Was it the doctors you changed? What was the first thing in the fight you decided to attack?
Well, let me go back to 2012. I did everything the Western way.
Okay.
The Western world way. Our way. I took the chemo, the mastectomy, the surgeries, radiation, and I came out. I came out of it. Mm-hmm. But through prayer, a lot of praying, a lot of meditation, a lot of reading, and just staying in that fight. Mm-hmm. And when you're in that fight, you have to keep that burning type of desire. You gotta stay
that
lit.
Passion,
that meanness, you gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just lazy about it, you gotta be like, ugh. You got to remain aggressive. Yeah, you have to remain aggressive. In 2012, fighting soldiers was nothing. That was not on my mind. Mm. Okay? My mother came up from Georgia to help take care of me. Surprised me at my door. And so then the next year, she had a fight. She was fighting lung cancer. Mm. And you just never know how life throw things at you.
So y'all was in a fight for a minute.
So it was a divine reason for her to come up to see me. Because then I had to take care of her. And then that next year, she passed. Mm-hmm. I started getting more into just working on my diet and reading up on a lot of different things. And I tried to get her to do some things, but sometimes when they're, I say old school, the doctor said this though. Mm-hmm. They stuck in what the doctor said.
And so you like, the doctor may not be right about this.
Right.
And see, I think that's the good thing. I think, like, not saying that people shouldn't go to the doctor. That's not what I'm saying. But I was like, you have to investigate and research for yourself. It's okay. Like, I don't care if you've had this doctor for 20 years, from birth until you're older. You can still question them. They are not the final say in your story.
Yes.
So you can still ask questions. And any doctor that denies you from asking questions, to me, is not the doctor for you. If I can't ask the doctor a question, then I can't handle being around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't deal with you as my doctor because I have to feel free and comfortable to ask you questions.
Yeah, because I had a doctor for 16 years. And she would, you don't need a mammogram. She just want to touch on my breast.
And that's it.
Had stage 4. And she never called me, no nothing. It was her guilt.
Wow.
I said, she probably was flirting on me. I need to get her up on the Me Too movement. You was sexually harassing me.
So when you finally, so how many doctors did you actually go to? Because I think sometimes when you were initially diagnosed, did you just go to her, or did you see a bunch of doctors?
Well, she was my family doctor. She handled everything. She had to, you got to get referrals from from your regular doctor and all that. She's like, you don't need that or whatever. But that's how I initially started. So I have trust issues, especially when it comes to doctors. I don't take things face value. I got to research it. And I know I get on some of their nerves, but I don't care. This is my body. I tell them I'm the captain of the ship. Because now I'm dealing with the after effects from the doctor I had for 16 years.
Right, but you have to remember too that it's your body to be responsible for. Like we rely on other people to be responsible for us, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for taking care of this temple.
I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor. You went to school for this. You should know. I didn't go to school for this.
Now
but
it's like, no.
You can read. Like if you can't read, we know some literacy programs. But
so
you can read.
That's where I messed up at. Yeah. So my mother, she transcended July 29th, 2014, 8 days after my birthday.
Wow.
But I had been mourning her death a whole year prior because I saw her deteriorate. So when she took her last breath, I exhaled. So it was easier for me to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's easy. It really is easier.
So I have a question for you for that. What do you think keeps people out of the fight? What do you think makes people not want to fight for their health? Like they kind of just are like,
They get
going
tired.
through this process.
Sometimes they just get tired. Sometimes I say that. Like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of dealing with this. But I'm just venting at the time. I ain't going nowhere.
So how can we as people support those that are getting tired of the fight? Because sometimes I feel like we don't know what to say. We don't know what to do because we're not in that particular fight. Especially when you're fighting for your health, you're fighting for your life. How can we be supportive while watching you take this fight? Because as much as I wanted to fight for my mom, I knew it actually wasn't my fight. I could only step so far in the ring before, so what can we do to be more supportive or to help in your fight?
Well, I mean, you could do little things like ask them what it is they like to eat, because my taste bud changes a lot. Especially on chemo, it changes. Their tongue get raw, all of that. You could just take them a healthy basket of fruit and water. Little things like that.
So it doesn't have to be something over dramatic. I think people think you have to take it to the extreme. Like, do not start quoting stuff to me.
Nobody want to hear that.
So how did your diagnosis change your view on life?
It gave it purpose. I thought I had purpose before, but it magnified it.
Wow.
So, like I said, when my mother passed, 2013 is when I came up with fighting Soldierz. And I filed it with the Secretary of State. But I didn't do anything until January 2015. That's when it took off. Because, I was too busy caring for my mom.
Right.
And I haven't looked back since. It just working through it, and that's how I dealt with my mother's death. I just worked. And one day I looked up, and it was like, wow, it's doing this. People come to me all the time. Oh, I love your apparel and what it means.
And see, I think that's where purposeful clothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might not be able, because sometimes you can't verbalize what you want to say in the fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are those like people, when you get in an argument with them, they don't argue with you, they just get quiet and they walk away. But I'm wearing my fight, and you can see, like,
and you can see it.
Oh my goodness, I'm so like, so I got my shirt out there. I was like, Tanya, bring me this shirt on your site. Yes, I do. I have one that I wear to work out in, and then I just got this new one. I needed a new autism awareness
I gotta order some more.
Yes, I love the shirt, and I love the color you picked. It's so vibrant. So how did How did your diagnosis change the people around you, though? Because I know, like, for a long time, people just kept, like, being sad around my mother or my uncle who has diagnosed with cancer. They're just sad around him, like, oh, you know, and I'm like, no, we're not going to have that sad mentality. How did it affect the people around you?
I told them, treat me normal. Don't treat me like I'm a charity case. That right there I didn't like, you know, because I've always been independent. And here it is now. I gotta depend on people. That was really hard for me. I would cry like, oh my God. But then I've learned to accept and just chill when people want to do something for me.
I think that's one hard thing for moms. Like, every mother I know
It's a
has an
thing,
issue
though.
except to help. It's like, are you trying to say I'm a bad mother? If you have to help me and I can't do it on my own, are you calling me a bad mother? But then I was thinking, like, I do need help. Like, I really need this help.
It's okay to ask for help, and just throughout this entire journey, I've met some beautiful people, some strangers who've helped me, and continue to help me, organizations that help me. Whereas you got some family and friends that don't help you.
Now, so I'm glad you brought that up. So did you have to change the view around you? Because a lot of times I think when you go through something, you expect the people who say that were always going to be there for you. I'm always going to
look out for them.
And then when you are going through something, they change your whole, you change. How did that affect you? Did it affect your health at all? Were you like, because I would think that sometimes it would cause a state of depression.
It made me bitter. But then I had to pray about it and let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because you have, thank you.
You're welcome.
You have loved ones who don't know how to take it, and they're more afraid than you are. It's like, what?
It's happening to me, but you're scared and you're nervous.
That's how some people take it.
And so how do you embrace those relationships? Do you try to comfort them, or are you like, I'm going through a fight right now, I'm gonna have you get out the way and step to the side?
Some of them I just had to push to the side. And then over the years, we reconnected.
And see, so I'm always wondering, like, how do families do it? Because I know for me personally, my sister and I are very strong people. So we like, if you're going to be in this room, you're going to be sad, you have to walk away. Because there is no sadness here. There is only joy and happiness. And I remember we read all the letters my mother received, like, oh, she won't be reading this one today. Because you want the person to, I felt like, when you're going through a fight like this, you don't have time to reflect on sadness. You either have to be mad, because I don't care how, I was like, we mad at what's going on right now, or you have to bring some joy to the situation and be like, you know what, we're going to find joy and be able to get through this.
Yeah.
So in your stages, what was your mad stage? Like, did you ever get mad? Because you're fighting.
Yeah, I got mad a few times, you know what I'm saying? But then also I had to learn that you gotta let it go, because stress will kill you alone.
I'm so glad you said that, because most people don't realize, like, sometimes it's not even the disease that takes you out, it's the stress of having to deal with everything.
I'm so laid back now. I mean, I get mad at certain stuff, but now I'd be like, whatever.
Okay, so
I crack more jokes than anything.
I get the fist. The fist is for the fighting. So, okay, let me tell you, for a long time I thought the symbol was a fist coming through a flower. Then I was like, oh no, it's breaking through.
I know. But I'd be like, okay, that works.
When you came up with that symbol, what was your thought process? Because each symbol is a fist, but there's stuff written on the fist that will go along with that specific fight. You guys have got to check out this apparel. It's Fighting Soldierz Apparel.
FightingSoldierz.com.
Okay, you've got to go over to the site and check out this apparel, because each one, and I'm reading like what's on the fist so that I can see what's going on in each fight.
I got a new logo that I'm about to re-release.
Don't tell me that, because I just bought this other shirt.
But it's called the culture.
I think
the FS with a circle around, because some people don't want a fist.
But I like the fist. I like the thought of the fist. When you came up with the fist, though, what were you thinking in that process?
This is my fight. It's a lot of people's fight. And when I was sitting down talking to the trademark panel, they just kept telling me I cannot use a ribbon. They said, that's Susan G. Komen. So I kept trying to figure out, like, everybody else uses a ribbon. They said, don't worry about everybody else. When your thing blow up, she could come back and come after you. Just don't even use it. So one day I just went home and I was just mad. I was like, I got this nice vest. And I just started writing diseases on it and awarenesses. And it worked.
And you came up with that. And now it's a whole line.
And on the back, life is worth fighting for. FightingSoldierz.com. But you know what? It's this one incident where I'll never forget it because my apparel is, what word am I looking for? It's an emotional purchase. You know, it's an emotional purchase.
You know, I have to totally agree with you on that one. Because when I was looking through the shirts to see which one, you was like, go over to the site, look at the shirts and see which one you want. And I was just thinking, like, which fight am I in right now? Like, is there a shirt that's gonna go with the fight that I'm in now? And you know, it's Autism Awareness Month. My nephew is autistic, and we're constantly trying to get people to, I don't want to say understand, but just let us do what we need to do for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may never understand it because you don't have to deal with it all, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand it to a level that his mom understands it, but I'm in the fight with her. So I want to make it aware, I want to make it known.
Severely?
No.
Okay.
No, so it's a different battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you have to understand the conversations that you need to have, like why the schedule has to remain this way and why there are certain things.
Does he look in your eyes? He does? Okay.
So he's on a different end of the spectrum.
Okay.
But I feel like it's still a fight because for people that don't understand, like, why we stick to a schedule, why there are only certain toys that, you know, don't touch certain toys, don't do certain things, certain noises and stuff like that, it's a battle. Because, you know, you always have people that have judgments that are like, why is it like that? And so I was like, yeah, this is the shirt for me. It was because I mean, go through that whole thought process when you're picking out a t-shirt. I put some thought into the t-shirt that I wanted, and I'm like, okay, Tanya, I know which one I want. This is the one.
You got the last one. That was the last one. I had to order some more.
It was meant to be. I'm just so excited. If you guys want to call in, the telephone number is 440-252-0518. And so I think, though, that people miss out on the fighting aspect of it. Like, they just forget that it's a battle. Because this is what my cousin was telling me, like, the battle is the Lord's. And I'm like, well, the Lord gave me the tools. So he said, get out there and fight. So I need to
like, don't question God. Why not?
But I was like, but you know, I feel like it's a conversation I need to have. Like, he's drawing my attention in. He's giving me the tools to fight the battle. So I'm going to need you to let me go ahead on and fight this battle. So I'm just like, when I was picking out the shirt, I know that's what I was thinking. Like, my thought process was like, what fight am I currently taking on right now? So if I get any other fights, I'm going to contact you. Yeah, you're going to need to come with another shirt.
What's prevalent right now is really sad. Gun violence.
We're going to talk about that. Hotties, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to get into more apparel, and we're going to find out how Tanya is doing with her health right now. We'll talk to you momentarily. Stay tuned. Hey, hotties, welcome back. That was Soul Revival with Chocolate Love. Ladies, let's turn that into our anthem this year. I like that little Soul Revival. Okay, so I am on with Tanya, Higgins, and we're talking fighting soldiers and surviving and fighting a diagnosis. So you wanted to tell me a story, Tanya?
Yeah, I was at the Grape Jamboree one year, the festival they do out in Geneva. I think it's like their 55th or something.
Is it the wine festival?
Yeah, they do grape stomping. It's really nice.
I know about that.
It's like the whole weekend. And this lady comes up to my booth, and she's reading, you know, I have the shirt on the mannequin, the trademark shirt, the one I got on. And she's reading it. And she started tearing up. And I'm watching her, and I'm like, you okay? So I walked around the table, and I just started rubbing her back, and she started talking. She said, I want this shirt. She said, my son committed suicide a year ago in the next room from me and my husband. She said he was 25, nice looking. She pulled his picture up, and I was like, wow.
But you never know. You never know.
So when I say it's an emotional purchase, it is. It's an emotional purchase.
I'm telling you, like, when I didn't even think of it until you said it. Like, I went through a whole thought process about purchasing this shirt and didn't even realize that it was emotions that were driving the way I purchased. And it was like a food purchase, because, like, I'm not going to lie, food, I'd be like, yes, I'm going to have this chocolate cake. It wasn't like that. It was more like, yes, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get this, and this is what I wanted. So, Tanya, since you've gotten your diagnosis, you've changed your habits. I watch her Facebook page. Y'all already know that when somebody come on the show, I just started stalking their Instagram and Facebook. Whatever they got, I'm stalking it. And so I noticed, like, you've been trying some different things.
Yeah.
What is the code? What is it called? You know, you did she did the LeBron thing, you guys, where she goes in for the cold fusion. And you were in there for like what is it? The hydro,
the cryo.
Yeah.
My daughter just asked me today. She's like, "Are you going to do it again?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it again."
So how did that affect your health? Because, like, let me tell you guys, she did it on live, y'all. When she was standing there, I was like,
I did it a couple times.
You did?
I was cold watching.
Oh yes, I was so cold. So okay, so how was it? Just describe the first time you went.
The first time I went, it's a 3-minute process. And I want to say I was at negative 130 degrees.
I would have been crying.
And so when you step up in there, you have no clothes on. You have only thick socks and there's these like swim shoes or something. You know, in the robe. When you get up in there in the vault, you take your robe off and give it to the person. And it's just like nitrogen air. It is.
Did you notice a difference in your health though after the event?
He told me, he was like, "You're going to sleep good tonight," because that happened last year. Because my health, it just, I was aching, like to the point I'm crawling up the stairs, and I'm asking the oncologist, like, I need a referral to see arthritis specialist. And he's like, well, it's none of the network. All this, just don't want to give it to me. Because he knew I was doing some natural stuff. And so I ended up firing him. I got somebody else. But I did it. And then I want to say I did it the following week.
You did it 2 times in a month.
Or maybe it was a couple weeks later. And then they tricked me and they dropped it down to negative 170.
Ooh.
And I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference. And my daughter, she did it too. And she's like, "Stop, let me get out of here."
So what were the health benefits of it though? I need to know.
What happened for me, all those aches and pains I was having, that was tumors in my body just trying to show up. Because they started showing up in my lymph nodes, behind my ear. It was sore behind my ear, my chest, and my groin area, on my armpit. And that's ringing. There's a problem. You know, like if you don't know what your lymphatic system is, it's like a web, like a spider web throughout your entire body. And this is where, when you have diseases or any type of cold, you know, you go to the doctor and you're sick, the first thing the doctor do is they rub behind your ear, shoulders, come on down. They're feeling for swollen nodes.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's what they're feeling for. That detects a problem. If they're swollen, there's something wrong. And so I end up going to see a dermatologist. And she drank one of them, and she was like, "You got to go see your oncologist." You know, she's like, "You have to, because there's problems." And so, just so happened, I was looking for another oncologist. Her husband happened to be one. You know, so I went to him. And so the oncologist I had before actually trained her husband. But, you know, it wasn't a bad thing for me. Just because a person trained you don't mean y'all have the same type of style. You know, so, yeah, that's when I found out that the stage 4, it got to my liver, it got in my right breast. So I said they should have just took that too. Where else did it go? To my bones. I had that initially. That clears up fast. That's your bone area. It clears up fast. And that was about it. So, but back in 2015, in July of 2015, I was having shortness of breath really bad. And I would go to the oncologist, and to me, he wasn't doing anything. You know, you can have some doctors, if you ain't doing it my way, then I ain't gonna help. Your way ain't always the right way. Why we can't combine? You know, they just want
So did you want a holistic approach and to mix with their medical approach?
You know, let's try both. You know, so I'm like, whatever. So it's, you know, I believe in divinity, like the divine, how the universe collide. You put things out there, you keep putting it out there, you start to meet the right people. I started meeting
the divine networking. We go call
like,
that.
I was like, I mean, vegans, black vegans. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a vegan. I tried it. It's really hard. It takes a lot of discipline. But, you know, I love vegetables and fruit and fish. I don't eat nowhere like I used to.
So when you got the diagnosis the second time around, is that what made you change your diet, or did you change your diet from the
2015?
Previous? Okay.
From the shortness of the breath, and I had nodes all in my breast.
Okay.
But I noticed, like, I had went on vacation, and I went on a cruise. Every time I would get off that cruise ship, the air is just, I could breathe really good. But as I went in my room, they had all them couches, and I would cough, and it was just, I was like, I had to sleep on the deck to get some fresh air. So when I got home, a friend of mine came and checked out my vents and everything. He's like, you need to clean your vents out. I had never cleaned them out. I never thought about that.
And so that made a difference.
Right. Yeah. So the holistic approach, they teach you things just don't happen to you. It's something that's causing it. So you need to clean up whatever is around you first, and then clean yourself out. Pretty much. Could be your environment.
So holistically, it's like everything. I think I talked to another lady on another show. She has a book called I Am 3D Woman, and it's about holistic living. Like, you have to take everything. So it's not just your home. It's everything within yourself, your mental, your physical, your financial, everything around your environment. You have to change all of that in order to become whole. So you started to change all of this around you. Was it hard for you to change your diet? Because were you a meat eater before? Like, was you a steak?
I like a steak every now and then. But I started with, because the friends of mine, they was like, and I was reading a lot, doing a lot of research, and they said, cancer cannot, really no disease can stay in your body if it's an alkalized body. You know, you hear people going to buy the water that's pH 9.5 and all of that. This right here, raw organic, perfect food. So I said, I got to get back on this regimen because I was on it heavy. And it's green powder, a lot of different things.
And so do you mix that in water?
In your water.
Okay.
It has a lemony taste.
It smells good.
You know, so once you get used to it, just throw it back. So I was like, I told my honey, I said, I'm getting back on this.
So you had to restart your regimen again.
Yeah, I'm starting it tomorrow.
Okay, so.
And then this, SCAC.
Okay, now what is this?
SCAC, it has 4 major components in it. I can't see. It has burdock root, arrowroot. I can't see this.
Let me see. Yeah, I ain't got my glasses on either. Hold on. Burdock root, sheep sorrel, slippery elm, Chinese rhubarb, and other ingredients. Okay, but it's a vegetable. Oh, glycerin. Okay, so it's a vegetable glycerin. So it's a natural glycerin.
Yeah, and it's nothing but a tonic.
And so do you put that in your water as well?
Yeah, I don't put it in my water.
You just take it straight?
Yeah, I don't like stuff soaked in my water and you tasting it all throughout the day.
So all of these elements became a part of your holistic living.
Yeah.
Now, would you recommend that people research what they need to do for them?
Yeah, they need to research it. I don't want them saying, Tanya said this, Tanya said... Research it. So the vegans who got me on this, it was like, you got to cut out meats. It was like, if it's hard to go cold turkey, fine. Just start cutting out some of them. You got to increase your green intake. Go to bed at 8 o'clock. Whatever your weight, because I was overweight for my size, for my height and everything. Whatever your weight is, you take half of that, and that's how many ounces of water you drink. And so
I am not getting enough water, you guys.
I was like, that's a whole lot. It's like, it's not a lot. Start taking bottles of water to bed with you. When you get up, you're going to have to keep using the bathroom, doesn't it?
As soon as you know what, the girl from the workout class recommended that. She was like, before you even get out of bed in the morning, grab your water, drink the water. She was like, that's why you're
supposed to do that.
Yeah, but I never thought to do that. I never.
You're supposed to start your day with nothing, water.
And a lot of people think, they're supposed to start their day with coffee.
You got to get your diet. No. Get your digestive system working.
All you coffee drinkers out there who say that y'all can't talk to people until you have your coffee, start drinking some water. Let's see if you be cheery then. I'm gonna try that next week. I'm gonna try it every day.
I came down 65 pounds within like 3 months.
You're gonna have me drinking a jug of water by the time we get in the parking lot.
I could drink a gallon of water a day now. It's easy for me because I'm accustomed to it. And see, with that Essiac, it's a waste remover.
Okay, so...
And your small intestines is 20 feet long.
And I think a big problem with all of us, though, is that we don't realize, like, all these issues that we have with acid reflux and all these issues with our stomach is because we have so many unnatural things in our bodies that our bodies are rejecting them, and that's why it doesn't process how it's supposed to.
We jump around in the gym and do all this stuff and turn around and eat crazy.
Yes, you're preaching to the choir. I'm not gonna lie. I like a good steak. I'm trying though. I really am.
Some people like they're too heavy. You're jumping around in the gym. You just messing your knees up. Work on getting some of that off first. It's okay. You need to learn how to.
So can you tell us how you started the research to do it? Because I think a lot of times, you and I were having this conversation before we started, like people just Google stuff and they assume that Google is giving them. How can people start to research and find out really what's going on and really what they need?
I have a group page called Fighting Soldiers. On that page, on Facebook, on that page, I share just a lot of natural remedies. And people will be like, do you take that? I don't take everything I share. I be taking a whole bunch of stuff. But it may help somebody else.
And see, reading up on it.
Yeah. My aunt called me one day. Yeah, girl, I take that black seed oil, Michael. He told me to take it. He got it off your page and it helps me. I don't ache no more. I'm like, good. She's like, you don't take it? No.
Yeah, I think people really mix up. You have to take what works for you because, like, a lot of times,
I just share information. I read it before I share it.
Like essential oils, I was telling somebody I was a really bad migraine sufferer, like all the time. I keep
saying I got to get into it.
And then my friend put the essential oil in mine. She put peppermint is what it is. She's like, okay, now rub your hands together and take a big whiff. She was like, but just keep whiffing and keep whiffing. And I swear it helped with the migraine. But I'm the type of person that I will wait to the last minute till the migraine is probably at the 100th degree level and be like, okay, I finally need to do something about it. And so, but I know before it starts that I should, if I smell the peppermint oil that I could probably stop it in its tracks. What would you say to people who are waiting and holding out to go to the doctor? Because I know a lot of women who will wait until their arm about to fall off before realizing that they need to go to the doctor.
I think you still should go to the doctor.
No, I'm just saying, like, how do we encourage some people to go to the doctor? Because you know, it's some people out there.
Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. You know what I mean? Just because you're going to the doctor, that don't mean you might agree with taking the drugs they.
Or I don't even think. I think people are scared.
Feedback.
Yeah, I think people just are scared to go to the doctor. I might find something out. I don't want to find out if I go to the doctor.
I know people like that. I don't understand that. I want to know.
See, I think it's the fear of, like, if I die, that means that I'm exposing myself to have mental anxiety of figuring out if it's something wrong with me.
Like that.
So, Tanya, drop your information for the people once again so we can know how to get in touch with you, because I'm going to need everybody. If you're in a fight, I'm going to need you to call her up, say, I'm in a fight with, not if you're in a fight with a person, y'all need to get over that, stop the violence. But if you are in a fight for your health, if you are in a fight to become whole, how can we get in touch with you and tell you what our fight is about? Okay,
216-502-4475. I'll be short and sweet with you because I don't get paid for that. If you want to purchase some apparel and you don't want to do it online, you could call and order that way.
Okay.
216-502-4475. You can also go to my website, Fighting Soldierz, with a Z on the end.
And it's dropped in the link right now, you guys.
.com. You know what irritates me? People be like, who been following me? Fight Soldierz with an S. I be like, why do they still like
They ain't got it together yet.
Yeah, like, come on. But they can also follow the group page, Fighting Soldierz, or follow my personal page, Tanya Higgins, on Facebook.
And so are you sharing your journey with getting your fight back on with us on your page?
Yeah. I put up videos here and there. But like I said, when I did that in 2015, it took that doctor almost 2 years to tell me, because he didn't want to tell me, your lungs look good.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're getting your health back on track. You know, we all fall off. Like, the thing is that people think that when you're on a diet and you fall off, you just give up. Like, you're not supposed to get back on that diet and try it again. But we all fall off. We all fall short. And it's just a matter of making a decision to get your life back in order, to do what you need to do to be healthy for you. So I want to thank you, Tanya, for coming on today, for sharing your information with us. I have to turn this around. So it is the raw organic perfect food alkalinizer and detoxifier. That is what we have here.
Or go online.
So that's what somebody just asked about. Like, so that's what we have here. I want to thank you for coming on. And people, I want to leave you with this message. Like, it is up to us to be responsible for our own health. There is nobody that can tell us that what is going on with our body. You feel it first. You are connected to you in the greatest type of way. So what I need for you to do is to take the opportunity. Ladies, we need to check our breasts. Fellas, we need to check our testicles. And you need to check your breasts too, because male breast cancer is a real thing. But the thing is just to make sure that you are checking yourself first. And if you don't feel good, go to the doctor. And if you don't agree with that doctor, there is nothing wrong with getting multiple opinions until you are satisfied that you are getting the care that your insurance is paying for. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Follow me and the hottest kids on the blog page, JustOneHotMom.com, and follow us on all our social media, where we will be bringing awareness and staying in the fight at Just One Hot Mom everywhere. Thank you guys, and guess what? You've been tuned in and you've been elevated. Talk to you soon.
That was beautiful.